Okay, so this is a big story. The government of Ireland has an official policy where boys will automatically be given lower grades just for being boys. This is in regards to the leaving certificates, which is a very important part of going to college. Look at the headline: Girls do better than boys in calculated grade leaving cert exams as gender trends will be built into results. Now, this is actually the law, so this is official. It's mandatory. Now, keep in mind what this means. This means the government is making it so boys get lower grades automatically under law. That is now the law in Ireland that boys must get lower grades. Take a look. The calculated grading system being used for this year's Leaving Certificate has been designed to ensure that overall girls will do better than boys. So it has to be that way. The exam system is supposed to be blind and anonymized, but the gender of students will be taken into account, the Irish Independent has learned. So gender will be part of your grades. So right there, this means that the grading system takes gender into account. So instead of just getting whatever grade you earned with your work, if you're a boy or girl matters in how your work is graded. And look at how a government official, the Minister of Education, defends this. Here's a quote from the Education Minister. Education Minister Norma Foley's admission that the gender trends would be factored into the calculated grade system came in a little noted parliamentary reply just before the Dáil rose. The use of demographic characteristics, including gender and socioeconomic status of the school, was inherent in the technical working group's design of the calculated grades model. So that's admitting that grades will be determined by gender. She goes on, and I do apologize for my Gaelic. Miss Foley said in her written reply to Sinn Féin TD, Donclad O'Langer, the purpose of the calculated grade system is to arrive at the grade each student would have achieved if the Leaving Certificate examinations had taken place as normal. Students' expected performance in a subject and level is combined with information about how students in the school have fared in the subject in recent years and with their performance at junior cycle. The outcome would be as reasonable, fair, and accurate to students as possible. Okay, so what that means is, because these exams have been canceled because of COVID and lockdown, they are going to be giving students grades based on their estimated performance. So based on the grades they did in school and the work in school, they're going to give them exam grades based on that. And because boys get lower grades on average than girls, they're saying, okay, to reflect that in the exams, we're going to take a point away from boys automatically. But that doesn't make any mathematical sense because boys are already getting lower grades than girls. That difference is already happening. It doesn't make sense to automatically take a point away from a boy just for being a boy because the individual grades may not necessarily reflect a trend. So what if a boy gets a better grade than a girl in the regular school year? Now he's going to have that point taken off in the system and he'll get it with lower grades by the end, which just doesn't make any sense. So this is the Minister of Education again. In order to make sure that the standardization process works, there will be validation, including any necessary rebalancing to preserve girls' advantage on higher grades as seen in previous years. Validation serves to ensure that the statistical standardization process is presenting results that are as fair and equitable and as in line with previous outcomes as much as possible, Ms. Foley said. But what does that mean, rebalancing? See, this makes no sense because, again, an individual student's grades are an individual student's grade. So they already are what they already are. So if girls have higher grades on average than boys, then you're going to see that in the results. Taking an extra point away from boys automatically doesn't really make any sense because rebalancing isn't necessary if everyone gets the grades that they already deserve. So it's really boys being punished kind of twice. To begin with, girls get higher grades on average than boys. And so because of that, after the results are done, they're going to take another point away from male students just for being male. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And this is a government official defending this policy. Thanks for watching. And as always, I put the link to this article in the description below.